everybody. It's Frick and Ferretti. We're here at the morning zoo.
Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Top 5 with Frick and Ferretti.
Woo! 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 Today we have the top 5 worst things that we would eat as a kid. My first one, fried bologna. And I got it from my grandfather, who probably started doing it in World War II.
Yeah.
And he was just fried bologna on white bread.
So fried bologna, and you want to put a little mustard.
That's not a sandwich.
You want to put a little mustard on there.
He wouldn't always.
So this is a real thing. My grandfather used to make ketchup tea.
I mean, I love ketchup. Ketchup's like my favorite thing.
This is a real thing.
That made me gag.
God bless him. God bless my papa. But he loved ketchup, and he would take the bottle of ketchup, put a little water in it, shake it up vigorously, then take the ketchup water, pour it into a tea glass, and then put that on the stove, boil it. And I remember I had some of that, and I remember thinking, this is just as awful as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't like a shocker. Like, it tasted like, that's actually pretty bad. Actually, this tastes like ketchup in hot water. I don't know. And, he came, coming from, like, the Depression and stuff like that. There wasn't enough food to go around. You made things work.
No, of course. Just like shit on a shingle. Anything can go on a piece of bread.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I did as a kid and has followed me into my childhood, from my childhood to my adulthood, which I'm very embarrassed by. And I always do alone is I'll just dip ketchup in bread. I'll just dip bread in ketchup or barbecue sauce or any kind of barbecue sauce, any sugary tomato pasty thing. Hoisin sauce, maybe a little bit.
I used to, hoisin.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I used to make ketchup sandwiches.
Oh, I did too.
Coming up in Jersey. Like a nice good 3 a.m. ketchup
sandwich. And not because
sandwich.
I was poor.
No, it was just because it's 3 a.m.,
And you have to eat something.
You got to eat something.
There's no macaroni left.
You're like, there's no macaroni. There's no macaroni to begin with.
As a kid, I used to pile on the pasta because it was so easy to cook. It's just pasta, you put a sauce, and it was so easy. I would eat so much of it at night. It was a terrible habit. I don't do that anymore.
So the other thing, and speaking of marinara sauce, is I used to go to the store. This is so sacrilegious. You get like a jar of Prego, and you get like Lender's bagels, and you put the sauce on it. Then you get like the Polly-O cheese, sometimes even string cheese, and you put that on there, and you throw it in the microwave for a minute, and you come out with like this limp dick pizza, right? Flop all over the place. Dave Portnoy's not eating this thing. But you would make a bunch of it, so even if it didn't taste that great, the quantity of it made up for the lack of taste.
Sometimes the cheese, the mozzarella wouldn't be there, so I'd have to use a different cheese. So then I would use like a cheddar or a Stilton or a Limburger. And then there was one time I tried blue cheese. Worst thing ever. Worst thing ever. I think that's another thing as a kid. I tried, this is blue cheese and eggs. Let's try this. And I did it, and I cooked it. I remember, right now, I can remember sitting there alone. Why did I do this? And it was just awful.
Oh, God.
Learned a serious lesson that day.
Yeah, blue cheese and eggs.
Blue cheese and eggs.
So I remember I was dating this girl at the time, and I made her eggs, and I was in college. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I was like, I'm going to make her fancy eggs. So I took the eggs, and I squirted Italian dressing in it. So it was like, she's going to like it. Because you know what? Who doesn't love Italian dressing, right? Wishbone Italian dressing in the eggs and like the little...
Which is great on salad.
It's great on salad. You wouldn't need to put it on eggs for appropriate reasons. Yeah. Nobody has ever eaten eggs in their life. Like, you know what this is missing, right? Some wishbone Italian dressing.
Vinegar. A lot of vinegar and oil.
So she took a bite and she went, what is this?
She left you. You never did it again.
It's got a little Italian dressing. How does it taste? She goes, it tastes like eggs with Italian dressing. My culinary skills have improved drastically since then.
But
you experiment a lot when you're a kid, man.
No, you did. I did the pizza thing all the time. The pizza bagel.
Pizza thing.
And pizza on bread, whatever bread there was. Liver was bad, Brussels sprouts. I always hated those things.
I would say like the thing that I really used to hate eating as a kid was like green beans. And the one that was in the can. And when you take it out of the can, it makes that...
Yeah, I don't like any food that makes
and it comes right out.
Sound.
And then like you just kind of mix it around a little bit, and then you put everything kind of went in the microwave.
Yes.
Like that was like the end all be all.
That makes me think of TV dinners. Those were pretty disgusting too.
Those were disgusting, but those were my bread and butter, man, in the 80s and
Well, that's
90s.
all that they were made of. It was just bread and butter.
Bread and butter, man.
I did a Pop-Tart sandwich with like fluff and like you do 2 Pop-Tarts, you do the fluff and then you add Nutella. I would do that. Sometimes still sneak. I'm still sneaking. I'm sorry. I'm still sneaking whole mouthfuls of scoop fudge out of like I'll go at 3 a.m. and I like just a scoop of fudge. Nope, nobody sees me. Who's gonna see me at 3 a.m. eating this? I still feel like it's embarrassing. So I'm buying this person more jars of Coop's fudge because I keep on finishing them.
I mean, I also did the Pop-Tart sandwich. I should say. I did. It was so good. I actually made 2 of them. I used the Pop-Tarts, uncooked Pop-Tarts. You take them out of the little, aluminum foil wrapping. Yeah, just like, is this safe for space? Like, right. This is where things really take a left turn. I had Pop-Tart sandwich, strawberry, uncooked Pop-Tarts, Nutella, bananas, slice, put it together. You cut it in like a sandwich. You're not an animal.
Sure.
You might be making a Pop-Tart sandwich, but you're not a fucking animal.
No, you got to cut it in half.
You have to cut it in half.
Maybe 4 pieces.
Right. And he would eat it, and it was so incredible.
I want one now.
I made another one.
I would go to McDonald's. I'd get 2 supersized fries. 2 supersized fries when things were really fat for Americans, when McDonald's was like supersizing everything.
Right.
And then I'd go get a Ben and Jerry's. So I'd eat the fries, the whole thing, shove it in my mouth in less than 5 minutes, and then I would eat the fish food. And if I didn't have a spoon, I would use the top to eat the fish food. And if it was really frozen and I couldn't use the top to scoop it out, I would cut it open and just eat the fish food in a whole chunk while I'm watching like Judge Judy or something 20 years ago.
Just like a handful.
A handful. It was getting all over my hand. I couldn't touch other things.
Jeez, when was this? How old were you when you did this?
I was
last
40,
week.
I was 45. That was probably in my early 20s. Probably that was college. Very depressing time for me. College.
Right after college, I would eat a pint of Chunky Monkey to start the day.
Oh, but yeah, breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of champions. Take it right out of the freezer, and nothing was clean. So I would take a plastic fork from the Chinese food I had last night.
Yeah, been there.
Quick little rinse-a-roo.
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't even rinse it.
Under the Jersey tap, like
making it
get that hoisin sauce off. Save that for a sandwich later, right? Take it right. And then into the Chunky Monkey, and you could actually see the fork marks from the previous night or from your roommate.
You mean you didn't finish it? I always finished it.
No, I'm saying is sometimes you want to take a quick hit before bed.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's my NyQuil.
Right. It's like your heroin. It was like my heroin.
Well, I mean, there's like a chunk. There's like you see it like in the Chunky Monkey, it's like you got the banana ice cream. There's like you got a little chocolate fudge there. I know how much you love fudge.
I love fudge.
So you would take like a quick little this is my NyQuil. All right, I'll go for bed.
You ever test yourself with a whole pizza and you're going to order yourself the whole pizza and you eat the whole pizza? You ever do that?
Oh, all the time.
I've only done that twice. I can't say I did that all the time. But a whole 8-slice pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I only did that twice. I watched Harry Potter.
Oh, no. I used to pound those fucking things all the time, man. It wasn't like a contest.
And we're talking about like from a pizza place. Like
like a mom like a mom and pop place.
Okay. Because that would take me I'd have to do like 5 of those Celestes.
In Jersey, the pizza's typically thin crust. So you can get away with eating
thin crust. And I appreciate thin crust better than the other pizzas.
Yeah.
My grandmother would fry eggplant. And
that sounds incredible.
She would leave it in the fryer all day, like 6 hours after it left in the fryer, because that's how she killed my grandfather, was with fried eggplant.
Allegedly.
But he loved it, just like the fried bologna. That had nothing to do with but it was the fried eggplant. And she would leave it in there all day. There'd be like 4 of them, and they would congeal over time, and that was awful. I didn't like eggplant until my older age because of that.
All right, so Jesus.
We're about to get to something. He's about to open up.
This is nuts, dude. I remember my mom used to have just a pot full of oil, and in that oil, that's where she would make the French fries, which was all I loved to eat. I used to love French fries, and after we were done making the fries, she would take the oil, put it back in the oven, because that's where she kept it. And then when you wanted like French fries again, you would just take the pot of already cooked oil, put it on the stove, heat it up, throw the fries in.
Sure.
That house has long been sold, but I think that oil is still there. I've been meaning to call the owners and let them know, like, just check the oven. I think there's a pot of oil in there. But yeah, I used to have French fries. And I remember as a kid, if I was hungry, I would go into the freezer. And I'm like 8 or 9 year old. And I would take out a bag of shoestring French fries. I would take the pot of oil out of the oven, put it on the stove. And you really don't understand gradients as a kid. You just know on and off. So you put it on like all the way, like huge burning fucking fire of oil.
Sure.
And I wasn't tall enough to throw the fries in. So I would stand on the countertop. I'd climb up like a primate, stand on the countertop and literally holding the bag of fries and just throwing them in. And we go.
A bunch of scientists taught you how to do that.
And all that beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Like the alarm would go off. My mom would be like, what are you doing? It's 5 in the afternoon. What are you waking me up for?
Why is your mom sleeping at 5 in the afternoon?
It's like 5 in the afternoon. She had a couple Michelob Lights. She wants to just rest.
Okay, yeah. You're
cutting into her Michelob time. I remember, she'd be like, what the fuck are you doing cooking all these goddamn fries? And also, why didn't you make enough for me? It's 5. It's 5 in the afternoon. I'm making dinner at 5:30. You couldn't wait?
That's another thing that would happen as a kid. I'd end up having 2 meals all the time.
Right.
Because I'd go to my grandparents' house up the block. I'd eat their meal. And then they didn't really want me to eat there. But I would eat there. And then I'd go home and have the second meal. But I wouldn't tell them that I ate the first meal. Right. And I remember my grandmother telling my mother about it. And them having like an argument about it. And like I got in trouble and couldn't have 2 meals anymore. So let's break down this list of the worst things we had as kids. Sure. So what do we have? We had liver. We had Brussels sprouts. I talked about those. Those are on every leaf.
Let's do the opposite. We'll start with 5, go all the way up to 1.
Okay, yeah.
So let's start with the worst thing. Not the worst thing. We'll start
French
with
fries. French fries and my fish food. I think the French fries and my fish food. We can go with 5.
Okay. All right.
That'll round out the top 5. That's horrible, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the taste of it. I liked the French fries and the ice cream, so it's not like it was just the worst for me. It's like this stuff's really bad for us. Or the fried bologna. Let's make the fried bologna.
Fried bologna could be 4.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll make fried bologna between white bread and a little mustard. That's what
I would say. I got to put this like ketchup sandwiches is got to be in the top 3.
I think that's a good one because
ketchup
I did it too. We
barbecue.
both did it.
So ketchup sandwich, hoisin sandwich,
we
or
are so fat.
Ketchup. Like that's, I don't know where in the food pyramid that was. I remember they would show the food pyramid in school. Like, where the fuck is a ketchup sandwich?
It's an offshoot.
It's like Alaska. It's off to the side. Yeah. It's in its own little box. These children in Bayonne are eating ketchup sandwiches at 3 a.m. Won't you donate and help, please?
I can get on top of that.
Right. So hoisin sandwich, ketchup sandwich, barbecue sandwich.
Oh, they're all into the same category. Yeah.
No protein.
No protein.
Pure. Just the sauce.
Who needs protein?
Bread.
You got sugar.
Right.
You can use the sugar. You turn the sugar into.
So that was awful. That was number 3. And then number 2, what would you bring it in for number 2?
I think that your oil thing was there. That the oil thing.
The disgusting oil.
We had the bologna. The Spam was on there too. Spam was an awful thing.
I don't even think Spam made its way to Bayonne.
Fair enough.
Because it may have been like, dude, what are you, a communist eating Spam?
Spells maps backwards.
Right. So
What is this?
All right. Now ketchup tea. Now that's American.
Ketchup tea.
Heinz 57, just like the fucking Cadillac.
So the other
ketchup tea has got to be in there. Ketchup tea is pretty.
I wouldn't have that
awful.
now. I wouldn't have that now.
I don't think anyone would. Well, if you gave that to somebody who was starving, and please, I haven't eaten in weeks. Here, listen. Have a little ketchup tea. Are you some sort of fucking asshole?
I haven't eaten in weeks.
Ketchup I said tea? Ketchup tea. No. This is just to warm you up.
For what? Worse things?
Right. Now I'm warming you up for a hoisin sandwich. I would say, so I would say ketchup tea number 2. For number 1, I would say one of the most despicable things, a contender, it's got to be the Pop-Tart sandwich.
Oh yeah, the Pop-Tart sandwich. So these are all things I wouldn't really do today, other than the ketchup bread. Yeah. I wouldn't do the Pop-Tart sandwich. That's 2 Pop-Tarts, so much sugar. I try to not do that much sugar in one.
Well, it's all sugar. I mean, just like, and sometimes if I don't have enough Pop-Tart, I would make it like an open face. So you're just eating it like, very sophisticated.
Well, I would do 2 of them because then I could use much more stuff.
Yeah, like you maybe that nice little drizzle of honey on top.
Oh, honey, that's too classy for me. It would have to be like that cracked chocolate.
No, but it's not. The honey is like from the McDonald's that you took from so you open up the packet and you put it right on there.
We know packets of stuff. Any packets of stuff.
All packets came with us. All of it. Like
everywhere.
Everywhere you went, like packets.
Your mother
of
had
shit.
the same packet of all the Chinese stuff and the ketchup from
Oh
McDonald's.
yeah, and she also had a warm purse Coke at all times.
Nobody loves warm Coke. That should be number 1.
A warm purse Coke.
Because that would fall under drinks.
But that's where she kept it in her purse. So it was like
Did she have a sandwich that she would keep there that was there?
No, she was very peckish. She didn't eat, but when she would go out and she would get a rum and Coke, she didn't like the way it tasted off the gun. And so she would say, just give me the rum. I'll bring my own fucking Coke. And she would take it out of her warm purse Coke and she would pour it in. Pour it up. And then she would pour it and the bartender would be like, I can get... No. I've tasted your gun Coke, all right? It doesn't make my top 5.
Okay, yeah, right. I like that.
She wouldn't like that. And so she would have her own warm purse Coke. I remember there were times, like as a kid growing up, he'd be like, oh God, I'm so thirsty, Mom. And he'd be like, oh wait, we don't need to stop it, Christopher, here, have this. And she'd go into her purse, take out a warm purse Coke, here, drink this. You're like, it's so warm. It's hot. It's so hot. Why is it hot? It's so good, but it's so hot.
Why is it 90?
And then you would let loose one of these 1980 roars. Like this huge burp.
Because it builds up so much.
So much, man. That's funny. That's honestly, that's what I used to have. And you would be in school. I used to have this is where shit gets crazy. I know we're wrapping up here, but I used to have for breakfast, I used to have toast, Pop-Tart, and a can of Coke to start the day. And by the time I got to school, you would it was like 9 in the morning. I was just taking a nap. Right, I remember I would get there Chris, you want to do some fraction?
You sound like the Kraken. You sound like the Kraken.
And you would just let loose these legendary burps, and then you start to make friends with it. Like, yo, this is the guy that does. God, do it. A, B, C.
I think I might be able to let go of a fart right now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, get the fuck out of here. Save yourselves.
On that note, top 5 with Frick and Ferretti.
And that was fucking awful. That's off the charts. All right. We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Good fucking bye.